Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. The latest on Sasha Banks and Naomi's WWE status. There's a new update regarding Sasha Banks and Naomi. Raj Giri received word earlier this month that Banks was let go by WWE, a story that was later backed up by WrestleVotes. However, a new report by Mike Johnson of PW Insider says that both she and Naomi are still listed on the active roster internally. According to Johnson, neither Banks nor Naomi has been officially released from the company. After the initial story came out, Fightful Select reported there was backstage talk at the June 17 episode of WWE SmackDown, which suggested that Banks, at least, had been released. Fightful cited talent who, quote, would be in the position to know, end quote, if the release had occurred. Johnson's report, however, seems to have officially put these rumors to bed. Banks and Naomi walked out before the May 16 episode of WWE Raw after the two were booked to participate in a 6-person scramble later that night. Following that move, Banks and Naomi were suspended indefinitely without pay and were publicly outed on air by WWE. The two were stripped of their Women's Tag Team Championships and all their merchandise items were removed from WWE Shop. In addition to that, any presence on promotional materials has been removed, including headers and advertisements for Raw. Just recently, WWE digitally removed Sasha Banks' name from a fan sign in the crowd. Banks' contract was reportedly set to expire around 2 months following her walkout, and it was believed that Naomi was in the middle of renegotiating her contract at the time. While Banks' personal social media accounts have remained largely untouched, she has shown up in photos with a new look that ventures away from her on-air persona. Naomi was the first of the two to break her social media silence earlier in the month with a video of her and Jimmy Uso on the beach together. Top AEW tag team questions if the Usos are the ones. FTR's Dax Harwood took to social media yesterday afternoon to call out the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos. While the Usos say "we the ones," according to Harwood, he and Cash Wheeler might be the ones now. While Harwood and Wheeler were in WWE as the Revival, they faced the Usos on a number of occasions. One match was at Extreme Rules in 2019, where Harwood and Wheeler retained the Raw Tag Team Championships against Jay and Jimmy. Harwood tweeted, quote, "Maybe we the ones, Us. Maybe 7-star emoji FTR." Last weekend, FTR became the IWGP Tag Team Champions after defeating United Empire and Roppongi Vice at AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. FTR are also the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions and the AAA World Tag Team Champions. They have been the ROH Tag Team Champions since defeating the Briscoes on April 1 at Supercard of Honor 15. FTR have been the AAA World Tag Team Champions since defeating the Lucha Brothers on October 16, 2021 episode of AEW Dynamite. Jimmy and Jay Uso had defeated Riddle and Randy Orton in the main event of the May 20th episode of SmackDown in the Winners Take All Unification match. They are set to defend the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles against the Street Profits at this Sunday's Money in the Bank event. WWE Raw ratings dipped slightly despite John Cena return. John Cena came back to celebrate his 20-year anniversary on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. While not all of last week's big audience tuned in to see the legend return, the program saw strong numbers once again. WrestleNomics released the numbers for the June 27 episode of Raw, and the program received an average viewership of 1.951 million viewers, which gave it a 2% drop in viewership. The key demographic encountered a similar drop for the previous week, with an average viewing audience of 700,000, a 0.54 rating rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, a 2% decrease from last Monday. Nonetheless, those numbers are still on the higher end, as last week's program had its highest viewership numbers since the weeks after WrestleMania 38 in April. Raw still ranked number 1 in the 18 to 49 demographic for cable originals and number 1 overall for that demographic in broadcast prime time. The second hour of Raw accrued its highest demographic number for the evening with a 0.56 rating. Hour 1 came in second with a 0.55, and Hour 3 came in third with a 0.50. More viewers stuck around for the newest episode of Ms. and Mrs. afterwards, as the show was watched by an average audience of 669,000 viewers and 274,000 in the 18 to 49 demographic, giving it a 0.29 rating in the key 18 to 49 demographic. That gives the fourth episode of Ms. and Mrs. a 14% increase in total viewership from episode 3, the demographic a 5% boost. Dana Brooke reveals why she was not on WWE Raw. Dana Brooke has been having such a good month. The WWE 24/7 champion has been a regular fixture of WWE programming, even getting a victory over Becky Lynch a few weeks back, but was absent from this past Monday's episode of Raw. Brooke tweeted out an update on her condition, thanking fans for the support and explaining she was involved in a, quote, bad car accident, end quote, but is doing good and will be back in no time. Quote, much love to the WWE Universe for the support and love standing up for me. The reason why I was not on Raw last night was because I got into a bad car accident the past week. I am doing good and will be back in no time. I really appreciate the love and couldn't ask for better fan support. After winning her first of 6 WWE 24/7 championships in November of last year, Brooke has been a pillar of the 24/7 division, winning her latest title on the June 23rd edition of WWE Main Event in a chaotic segment that also saw R-Truth, Akira Tozawa and Nikki ASH temporarily hold the bout. Tony Khan drops $1 million Forbidden Door stats. AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door came and went this past Sunday from the United Center, going off smoothly despite a build-up that featured several matches changed due to illness, injury, or even lucha libre politics. And if you're wondering just how big of a success the Super Show turned out to be, don't worry, because AEW owner and CEO Tony Khan has got you covered. In a tweet Tuesday afternoon, Khan revealed some figures showing just how big Forbidden Door turned out to be. Quotes, thank you to everyone, especially wrestling fans around the world, who made last Sunday's Forbidden Door event a hit, with over $1 million in ticket sales, plus over $5 million on pay-per-view, Khan tweeted. Some of these figures, such as the $1 million gate, have been known for months, as Forbidden Door sold out the United Center almost instantly when tickets went on sale in early May. As it stands, the show was the second highest attended AEW event in history, trailing behind only Dynamite and Rampage tapings of the AEW Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium in September of 2021. As for the $5 million in pay-per-view revenue, that number would seem to confirm Forbidden Door's potential numbers are trending north of 100,000 buys, with the AEW pay-per-views costing $50 on Bleacher Report and other pay-per-view providers in the US. Simple math would reveal that 100,000 buys would put Forbidden Door around the $5 million mark with those prices. As of this recording, however, no buy rate number has been officially revealed. With Forbidden Door now gone, AEW will turn its attention to AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts tonight. The show is headlined by a Blood and Guts match in which the Jericho Appreciation Society will battle interim AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta, Eddie Kingston, Ortiz Santana, and new AEW/Blackpool Combat Club star Claudio Castagnoli. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.